on May Day, we have one major update when it comes to the T20 World Cup. Australia, the 2021 T20 World Cup champions, have announced their 15-man squad. And the first major shocker, or maybe you may say typical Australia, is that they have not included a Jake Fraser-McGurk. Yes, there is no Jake Fraser-McGurk in the Australia T20 World Cup 2024 squad. And that is why this particular squad, when you look at it, it is typical of Australia. They don't look at just one tournament, they look at the process. Like, they do have a settled core of players, and that is why they have gone ahead with a squad which does contain a bit of a surprise, and some may say is a major talking point in this sense. So, this is the squad that has come out. The Australian team has announced the squad for the T20 World Cup. So, this is the major thing that is there. So, I'm going through the squad at this point. Here it is. Mitchell Marsh is the captain. Ashton Agar comes back after he was injured in the and missed out on the T20 ODI World Cup of 2023. Pat Cummins is there. There is a Tim David. There is a Nathan Ellis, Cameron Green, Josh Hazelwood, Travis Head, Josh Inglis, Glenn Maxwell, Mitchell Starc, Marcus Stoinis, Matthew Wade, David Warner, and Adam Zampa. These are your 15 members that are there in the team at this point. So there is no Steve Smith, there is no Matthew Short, there is no Jake Fraser-McGurk. These are the three major names that were missing. Steve Smith, we all kind of understood that yes, he will not be there because his T20I form as well as his white ball form has been poor. Matthew Short, on the other hand, he was struggling to make way for the likes of Josh Inglis and for the likes of Matthew Wade. How could you argue for their position? But the omission of Jake Fraser-McGurk, that is going to really be a big talking point. Jake Fraser-McGurk in IPL 2024 for the Delhi Capitals has been in sublime form with the bat and with the ball. If you look at his numbers, average of over 70, and you're looking at the strike rate, it's well over 200. How could you not pick someone who's doing so well in the IPL? But then we all had thought that yes, this is how Jake Fraser-McGurk, this is how Australian cricket really functions. Jake Fraser-McGurk had not played many T20Is at all. And if you go by Australian trends, they have not played a debutant, they have not allowed a player to debut in an ODI World Cup or in a major ICC event ever since 1987. 1987 was the last time an Australian had debuted in the World Cup. Since then, they have gone with tried and tested players. They have gone with the caliber. They have gone with the pedigree of it. And because of that, a Jake Fraser-McGurk was not going to make it into the Australian cricket team. So, harsh call, but maybe a right call. And many people will now say, no, Jake Fraser-McGurk's inclusion should have been there at this point. And without his inclusion, many teams will heave a big sigh of relief, especially India. We all felt that, wow, if Travis Head and Jake Fraser-McGurk opened together, it would have been a big boost for the team. But yes, at this point in time, if you look at what the selectors have said, there is no Jake Fraser-McGurk for a particular reason, and I'm just trying to look at it. The certain things that the selectors have said, this is an experienced squad. George Bailey, who's the chairman of selectors, has stated, this is an experienced squad with extensive World Cup experience that offers a variety of structures and covers the scenarios the panel believes will factor in the West Indies with the unique nature of the venues and our opponents. So that is the way they're looking at. They're looking at experience, people who have played in the West Indies, people who have had World Cup experience, ICC World Cup experience. It's great to have Ashton Agar back in the squad following a spate of unfortunate and untimely injuries. We believe Ashton can play a critical role in the tournament along with Stoinis, Maxwell, Green, and Mitch Marsh. Now, if you look at it, with only 15 spots available, Bailey acknowledged that some deserving players in good form couldn't be included. Now, this is where he has said Steve Smith, Matt Short, Jason Behrendorff, Aaron Hardy, Spencer Johnson, and Xavier Bartlett. These were there in our long conversations along with the Jake Fraser-McGurk. But it is a development that is happening. It's only a squad of 15. That is why they couldn't pick all the players. Ultimately, the balance of the final 15 needs to provide the best chance of being successful in the campaign. We will continue monitoring several players. So, this is the reason they are constrained that with a squad of 15, that this is really a big constraint that they have got. But then look at the players who missed out. A Matthew Short, a Xavier Bartlett has missed out, and that is why Jake Fraser-McGurk, they have not looked at IPL reputation. They have looked at experienced people, and that is why this is typical Australian mentality in that sense. So, for people who are joining us in the live at this point, I'll tell you what is the full squad for the T20 World Cup. Mitchell Marsh is your captain. Ashton Agar is back. Pat Cummins, Tim David, Nathan Ellis, Cameron Green, Josh Hazelwood, Travis Head, Josh Inglis, Glenn Maxwell, Mitchell Stark, Marcus Stoinis, Matthew Wade, David Warner, and Adam Zampa. So the core of this particular Australian team has almost remained the same. Tim David is an inclusion. Then if you look at it, the rest of the squad that won the 2023 World Cup and Agar is a return. Rest of it, it all remains the same. Matthew Wade is a T20I specialist, and that's why he maintains his place. So no Jake Fraser-McGurk, no Xavier Bartlett. The core of the youngsters might feature in the 2026 World Cup. There is no Aaron Hardy as well. So that's the way it's looking. And I'll take some comments at this point. This squad shows Oz mentality, no focus on temporary performance following their core. As I said, Shreyansh Pudipati, it is a very important thing to note that Australia have not handed a debutant in a major ICC event, be it an ODI, be it a T20I, or an ICC World Test Championship ever since 1987. Since then, they have followed their philosophy of a core. And Akash Suresh is also saying that it's a good call not selecting Jake Fraser-McGurk. They have not gone by IPL reputation. Warner, when you look at it, this is his last major multi-nation event. And that's why it's a good feeling indeed. And looking at it, Sanket, this is why they win World Cup and India pick players whose IPL form is good. They take advantage of weaker bowlers in IPL and World Cup. For bowlers will be good flop team. Sanket is like also saying that yes, this is a very good team. I think Oz will go with two pacers for Stoinis and Agar Zampa will play. Yes, and if you look at it, Ashton Agar and Adam Zampa had very good success in Australia last tour there. In the ODIs in particular, they really did well. So that's the situation. They should have picked Rinku Singh, Akash Suresh. Well, Akash Suresh, go and check the videos, what we have done. Yes, it is a shocker indeed. Anonymous Rocks is saying why Hardik is chosen as vice captain. Bumrah and Sky should have been considered ahead of them as they are undroppable in current T20 setup. Well, that's the decision that's been made. Now we have to back them. So Australia have announced their T20 World Cup squad. Now, towards the end of the days, we will see Pakistan, you may see West Indies, and in that sense. So Vidya Sagar, four spinners, why? It's a luxury, Vidya. That's the only reason. So Pakistan is the next anticipated team, followed by the hosts, West Indies. Let's see how they announce the team now. Still, only about 6 teams have announced their World Cup squads. Another 14 are left to go. So by today, you will get all the squads that is there. But the major ones that are looking at is Pakistan, West Indies, and if you look at it to a certain extent, maybe all the Sena countries have now been done. Sena and India have been done. After that, you're going to see something else. Is today the last day? Yes, today is the last day. You can announce it later, but you have to submit the squad by today itself. So that's the situation. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. We'll be back with more updates on Sports Today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. Don't forget we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.